Captain James Walker stared at the main screen on the bridge of the UES Defiance. Red warning lights flashed around him. The jump had gone wrong. Very wrong. "Report," he said calmly, though his heart raced. Lisa Miller, his chief engineer, worked quickly at her station. Her fingers danced across the control panel. "Captain, the experimental jump drive overloaded. We're not where we're supposed to be," she said. "Navigation systems show we're far beyond charted space." Walker stood from his command chair. The Defiance was Earth's most advanced warship, sent to meet with allies at the edge of human territory. Now they were lost. "How bad is the damage?" Walker asked. "The drive needs time to cool down. We can jump again in about 12 hours, Lisa replied. Robert Davis, the science officer, looked up from his station with wide eyes. "Sir, I'm picking up multiple ships approaching. Their design doesn't match any known species in our database." Walker nodded. "Open a channel. First contact protocols." Before Communications Officer Maria Thompson could comply, the main screen lit up with the image of a tall, gray-skinned alien. Its 4 eyes blinked in sequence, and a mouth full of sharp teeth formed words that the ship's computer quickly translated. "Unknown vessel, you have entered the sovereign territory of the Stellar Dominion. Power down your systems and prepare to be boarded. Resistance will result in your destruction." Walker straightened his uniform. "This is Captain James Walker of the United Earth Ship Defiance. We apologize for our unexpected arrival in your space. We experienced a drive malfunction and would appreciate any assistance." Silence. The alien commander barked. "I am Admiral Torak of the Dominion Fleet. Your excuses are irrelevant. The Emperor does not permit unauthorized entry into our space. You will surrender now." Walker glanced at his tactical officer, Thomas Cooper. Cooper shook his head slightly. "Admiral Torak, we mean no disrespect, but we cannot surrender our vessel. We propose a peaceful meeting to discuss." "Enough." Torak cut him off again. "You have 10 seconds to power down, or face the consequences." The screen went dark. "Sir, they're charging weapons," Cooper reported. 6 vessels, surrounding us in standard attack formation." Walker took a deep breath. "Raise shields. Power weapons, but do not target yet. Let's see what we're dealing with." The Defiance hummed as its advanced systems came to life. Unlike other human ships, the Defiance was built with experimental technology never before tested in actual combat. 5 seconds to weapons lock. Cooper counted down. "All hands, brace for impact," Walker announced shipwide. The first volley from the Dominion ships hit the Defiance's shields. The bridge crew expected to be thrown from their seats, but instead, they felt only a slight vibration. "Shield status?" Walker asked. Lisa looked at her readings in disbelief. "Shields at 97%, Captain. The adaptive matrix is already analyzing their weapon signatures and compensating. They're firing again," Cooper warned. This time, the impact was even less noticeable. "Shields at 95%, Lisa reported. "The system is learning fast." On the main screen, they could see the Dominion ships moving into a tighter formation. Their weapons fired continuously now, energy beams striking the Defiance from all sides. "Sir, they seem confused by our defense capabilities," Cooper said, watching the enemy movements. "Their attack pattern suggests they expected us to be disabled by now." Walker considered his options. Running would only delay the inevitable confrontation. Fighting back with full force might kill thousands unnecessarily. There was a third way. "Athena," Walker called out. A soft blue light pulsed on the command console as the ship's advanced tactical heuristic enhanced neural array activated. "Yes, Captain." The AI's voice was calm and clear. "Analyze Dominion ships. I need precision targeting solutions to disable their propulsion and weapon systems without destroying the vessels." "Analyzing," Athena replied. 3 seconds later, "Solutions ready, Captain." Walker nodded. "Target the 3 lead vessels. Disable only." The Defiance's weapons came to life. Instead of the broad energy beams used by the Dominion, precise pulses of concentrated energy shot out, hitting exact points on the enemy ships. On screen, 3 of the Dominion vessels suddenly went dark, their engines shutting down and weapons powering off. They began to drift slowly. Direct hit on all targets, Cooper confirmed. Their main systems are offline, but life support remains functional. Admiral Torek's face appeared on screen again, his 4 eyes wide with shock. What have you done? This technology, it's impossible. As I tried to explain, Admiral, we come in peace, but we will defend ourselves if necessary, Walker said calmly. Your ships are disabled, not destroyed. Your crews are unharmed. We could have easily destroyed your entire fleet, but that is not our way. Torek's face contorted with rage. This is not over, human. The Dominion controls thousands of worlds. We will hunt you down and take your ship's secrets for ourselves. Walker smiled slightly. I look forward to more productive conversations in the future, Admiral. Until then. He signaled Cooper to cut the transmission. Plot a jump to these coordinates, Walker instructed his navigation officer, sending data from his personal console. Short range, just enough to get clear. The jump drive isn't fully repaired, sir, Lisa warned. I know. We just need enough for a tactical jump. Athena, calculate minimum power requirements. As the remaining Dominion ships regrouped and called for reinforcements, the Defiance's jump drive hummed to life. In a flash of blue light, the ship disappeared from the Dominion formation, reappearing near a dense asteroid field several million kilometers away. Jump successful, the navigation officer reported. We're clear of immediate danger. Walker finally allowed himself to relax slightly. Good work, everyone. But I have a feeling this is just the beginning. In his private quarters aboard his command ship, Admiral Torek smashed a ceremonial cup against the wall. His second-in-command flinched but remained silent. Send word to the capital, Torek growled. Tell Emperor Malker we've encountered an alien vessel with technology far beyond anything we've seen. One ship, just one, disabled 3 of our cruisers without taking significant damage. The Emperor will want the vessel captured intact, his officer replied. Yes, Torek agreed, his 4 eyes narrowing, and whoever delivers this human ship to him will be rewarded beyond measure. As reports of the encounter spread through the vast Dominion communication network, thousands of ships began changing course. The hunt for the lone human warship had begun. We can't keep running forever, Captain Walker said, looking at the 3D map of the asteroid field where the Defiance now hid. The senior officers gathered in the ship's conference room. Their faces showed worry, but also determination. They had trained for difficult situations, but being lost in enemy territory was beyond any simulation they had ever run. Lisa Miller, the chief engineer, placed a small device on the table. It projected a hologram of the ship's systems. The jump drive needs at least 10 more hours to fully repair, she explained. But that's not our biggest problem. Each jump uses a lot of fuel. We have enough for maybe 5 more jumps before we're stranded. Walker nodded. So we can't just keep jumping away from danger. We need a better plan. Robert Davis, the science officer, cleared his throat. Captain, I've been analyzing the data from our encounter with the Dominion ships. I think I'd found something important. He tapped at his tablet, and a hologram changed to show the Dominion vessels. Their technology is impressive in some ways, but it's also outdated, Davis said. They build big ships with powerful weapons, but the designs haven't changed much in what looks like hundreds of years. What does that mean for us? Walker asked. It means they focused on making more ships rather than better ships, Lisa added, understanding Davis's point. They grew their empire through numbers, not innovation. Davis nodded. Exactly. And that gives us 3 major advantages they don't understand. He held up one finger. First, our adaptive shield technology. It learns from each attack and get stronger against that specific weapon type. A second finger joined the first. Second, HFY. Their ships are controlled by living crews making decisions at normal speed. Our AI tactical system processes combat data thousands of times faster. A third finger rose. Third, our precision weapons. They build weapons to destroy. We build weapons that can disable without destroying. Thomas Cooper, the tactical officer, leaned forward. So in a straight fight, even though they outnumber us, we have the edge in technology. As long as they don't overwhelm us all at once, Lisa cautioned. Even our shields have limits. Walker stood up and walked to the viewport. The asteroids outside provided good cover, but they couldn't hide forever. What do we know about this Dominion? He asked. Maria Thompson, the communications officer, answered. I've been monitoring their transmissions. It's a huge empire, spanning at least hundreds of planets. They conquer new worlds regularly and force the inhabitants to serve them. Walker turned back to his crew. So they're not exactly the peaceful type. No, sir, Thompson replied. From what I can tell, many of the worlds they control are basically slave planets. The Dominion takes resources and forces the locals to work for them. Walker's expression hardened. That changes things. We're not just looking to survive and get home anymore. We can't ignore what's happening here. Before anyone could respond, the ship's alarm sounded. Captain to the bridge, Athena's voice announced over the intercom. Everyone rushed out of the conference room and back to their stations. What's happening? Walker asked as he took his command chair. Dominion Scout Fleet, Cooper reported. 12 ships, light cruiser class. They're scanning the asteroid field systematically. They'll find us in approximately 10 minutes. Walker considered their options. Running would only lead to another chase. Fighting might reveal more about their enemy. And he had a third idea forming. Athena, can you identify the lead ship in that fleet? Walker asked. Yes, Captain, the AI responded. A ship on the tactical display was highlighted. This vessel is transmitting command codes to the others. Walker smiled slightly. What would happen if that ship suddenly lost its ability to communicate? The fleet would likely fall into temporary confusion, Athena answered. Standard procedure would call for the second-in-command to take over, but there would be a delay of approximately 45 seconds. And if 3 ships lost communications at the same time, complete breakdown of coordinated action for at least 3 minutes. Walker nodded. That's our window. He looked at his crew. Here's the plan. We're not running this time. We're going to engage them, but on our terms. Cooper looked surprised. Sir, there are 12 of them. And one of us, Walker replied confidently. But we have ATHENA, and we have surprise. Plot a course that will bring us behind that asteroid cluster. We'll strike fast, disable their communications and weapons, then broadcast a message. What message, sir? Thompson asked. Walker's eyes showed fierce determination. That we are not their enemy, but we aren't their prey either. The Defiance moved silently through the asteroid field, using the huge rocks as cover. On the bridge, everyone was tense but ready. Range to target? Walker asked. 2,000 kilometers, Cooper reported. They haven't detected us yet. Athena, targeting solutions for all 12 ships. Priority on communications arrays and weapon systems. Solutions ready, Captain, the AI replied calmly. Walker took a deep breath. Fire. The Defiance's weapons fired in rapid sequence. Precise energy pulses hit each Dominion ship exactly where intended. On the main screen, the crew watched as the enemy vessel's lights flickered and their movements became erratic. Direct hits on all targets, Cooper confirmed, amazed. Their communications are down. Weapons systems disabled on 10 ships. 2 still have partial weapons functionality. Those 2 are firing blindly, Lisa noted. They can't get a lock on us. The wild shots from the Dominion ships passed harmlessly through space, missing the Defiance by wide margins. Move us into visual range, Walker ordered. Lieutenant Thompson, prepare to broadcast on all Dominion frequencies. The Defiance glided out from behind the asteroids, now fully visible to the disabled Dominion fleet. Channel open, sir, Thompson reported. Walker stood tall. This is Captain James Walker of the UES Defiance. We have disabled your vessels without destroying them. Your crews are unharmed. We could have destroyed you, but that is not our way. He paused to let that sink in. Remember this. We come in peace, but we will defend ourselves. Your empire has never encountered humans before today. Consider carefully how you wish that relationship to develop. Walker signaled Thompson to end the transmission. Take us back into the asteroid field, he ordered. Different location this time. As the Defiance disappeared among the asteroids again, the disabled Dominion ships drifted helplessly. Inside the lead vessel, the commander stared at the empty space where the human ship had been, his face showing something the Dominion rarely experienced: fear. Back on the Defiance, the crew celebrated their small victory. That was incredible, Davis exclaimed. 12 ships, and we disabled them all without taking a single hit. Walker didn't join the celebration. This was just a small fleet. The real test will come when the Dominion realizes what they're dealing with and sends their main forces. What then, Captain? Cooper asked. Walker's eyes showed grim determination. Then we show them that humanity is not to be underestimated. Emperor Malker slammed his fist on the arm of his throne. The Grand Hall fell silent. No one dared to speak as the Emperor's 4 eyes glowed with rage. One ship, he said, his voice low but filled with anger. One single alien ship has disabled 18 of our vessels without suffering any damage. Admiral Torek knelt before the throne, his head bowed. Yes, Emperor, the reports are confirmed. This human vessel possesses technology we have not seen before. And where is this ship now? Malker demanded. We do not know, Emperor. It can jump to new locations quickly, and our sensors cannot track it. Malker stood from his throne and walked down the steps. The gathered military leaders and advisors stepped back, afraid of his anger. I have conquered 300 worlds, Malker said. I have crushed rebellions and defeated rival empires. I will not be made to look weak by a single ship of unknown aliens. He turned to his war council. Options. Now, General Dax, the oldest of his military advisors, stepped forward. Emperor, we should gather the Imperial fleet. 5,000 ships will surely overwhelm even this advanced vessel. A younger officer named Vex spoke next. With respect, that strategy has risks. Gathering the fleet would leave many systems undefended. If our subject worlds learn about a ship that can defeat us, they might rebel. Malker's eyes narrowed. You fear rebellions. Perhaps you lack faith in our power, Commander Vex. Vex bowed deeply. No, Emperor, I only suggest caution. Let us learn more about this enemy before committing our full forces. Emperor, Admiral Torek interrupted. We have begun a propaganda campaign. Our communications network is broadcasting that these humans are bloodthirsty invaders who destroy civilian targets. This will turn our subjects against them if they try to make allies. Malker nodded. Good, but I want that ship. I want its technology, and I want the heads of its crew mounted in this very hall. Thomas Cooper floated silently through the maintenance shaft of the Dominion Communications Relay. The small space station orbited a gas giant in a system far from the main Dominion worlds, but it processed vast amounts of data from across the Empire. Cooper's stealth suit kept him invisible to the station's sensors as he made his way to the central data core. Behind him, 2 more crew members from the Defiance followed, carrying equipment for their mission. Almost there, Cooper whispered into his comm. Security is lighter than expected. Good, Captain Walker's voice replied from the Defiance, hidden on the far side of the gas giant. Get what you can and get out. The Dominion doesn't know we're here yet, and I'd like to keep it that way. Cooper reached the data core room and quickly disabled the single guard with a stun device. The 2 crew members with him immediately went to work. connecting their equipment to the Dominion computers. "We're in," one of them reported. "Downloading fleet movements, communication logs, everything we can grab." Cooper kept watch at the door. "Hurry, we've got 10 minutes before the next security patrol." On the Defiance, Walker and his officers waited anxiously. This was their most dangerous mission yet, directly infiltrating a Dominion facility to gather intelligence. "Sir," Maria Thompson called from her communication station, "you should see this. The Dominion is broadcasting propaganda about us across their entire network." Walker moved to her station and watched the transmission. It showed images of destroyed planets and civilian ships, damage the Dominion claimed was caused by the human vessel. "They're painting us as monsters," Walker said quietly, "trying to turn their population against us before we can tell our side." Robert Davis looked up from another screen. "Captain, I'm picking up something else. It looks like distress calls from several planets. The Dominion is punishing worlds they suspect might be sympathetic to us." Walker's face darkened. "Record everything. We need to show the truth when the time comes." His comm unit beeped. Cooper to Defiance. "We got what we came for, but we found something big, something you need to see right away. Get back here safely," Walker ordered. "We'll be waiting." An hour later, Cooper and his team displayed their findings to the officers in the Defiance's conference room. "The Dominion is not as powerful as they want everyone to believe," Cooper explained, showing maps and fleet positions. "They control hundreds of worlds, yes, but most are held by fear, not loyalty. Their actual military forces are stretched thin." He pointed to several points on the map. "These 20 systems are on the edge of rebellion already. The Dominion can barely keep them in line." Lisa Miller studied the data. "Their ships are mass-produced but poorly maintained, quantity over quality. And this is the biggest revelation," Cooper continued, bringing up a new file. "The Dominion maintains control through a network of example worlds. When a planet shows signs of rebellion, they make an example of another world nearby. Orbital bombardment, mass arrests, public executions." Walker looked at the grim images. "They rule through terror." "Yes, sir," Cooper confirmed. "And right now, they're terrified of us. Not because we're a military threat to their whole empire, but because we represent something far more dangerous to them. Hope." Walker finished the thought. "We show their subjects that the Dominion can be defeated." The tactical display suddenly lit up with an alert. "Captain," AT&A announced, "I've detected a Dominion transmission from the planet Nexer. They are punishing the population for receiving our earlier broadcasts. Orbital bombardment has begun." Walker stood up immediately. "How far?" 2 hours at maximum speed," Cooper replied. Walker didn't hesitate. "Set course for Nexer. Maximum speed." "Sir." Cooper looked surprised. "That's deep in Dominion territory." "I know," Walker said firmly. "But we can't sit by while innocent people die because of us. Athena, prepare combat solutions for orbital platforms. We're going to show the Dominion, and everyone watching, exactly what humanity stands for." As the Defiance jumped toward Nexer, Emperor Malker received word that his personal flagship was ready. Surrounded by his elite guard of 50 warships, the Emperor prepared to hunt down the human vessel himself. "This game of hide-and-seek ends now," Malker declared to his commanders. "I will capture this ship and show the galaxy what happens to those who defy the Dominion." What neither the Emperor nor Captain Walker yet realized was that their next confrontation would change the fate of hundreds of worlds forever. The UES Defiance dropped out of jump space near planet Nexer. The bridge crew gasped at what they saw on the main screen. 3 Dominion warships orbited the planet, firing weapons at the surface. Cities burned below them. "Athena, combat solutions," Walker ordered, his voice tight with anger. "Solutions ready, Captain," the AI responded instantly. "Target their weapon systems only," Walker commanded. "Fire." The Defiance's weapons fired with perfect precision. All 3 Dominion ships suddenly stopped their bombardment as their weapon systems went offline. Direct hits, Cooper confirmed. Their weapons are disabled. Open a channel, Walker ordered. The screen showed a surprised Dominion commander. This is Captain Walker of the UES Defiance. Your attack on civilians ends now. Leave this planet immediately, or we will disable your engines as well. The Dominion commander snarled. By whose authority do you? You have 30 seconds, Walker interrupted, then cut the transmission. The Dominion ships slowly turned away from the planet and limped out of orbit. They're retreating, Cooper reported. Good, Walker said. Now let's see what we can do to help the people below. For the next 2 days, the Defiance provided medical supplies and technical assistance to the people of Nexer. The planet's leaders were grateful and shared valuable information about Dominion operations in nearby systems. The Dominion will return with more ships, warned the Nexer Chief Elder as she met with Walker in the planet's main city. We know, Walker replied. But now they know we will protect innocent worlds. The Elder nodded. Word of what you've done is spreading. Many worlds are watching. Some are beginning to resist Dominion control. Maria Thompson approached Walker. Captain, we're picking up transmissions from 6 other systems. They're asking for our help against Dominion forces. Walker thought for a moment. We can't be everywhere at once. But maybe we don't have to be. He turned to the Elder. Do you have people who can fight if given the chance? Of course, the Elder replied. We've wanted freedom for generations. We just needed hope. Walker smiled. Hope we can provide. And maybe a little more. Over the next 2 weeks, the Defiance began a careful campaign against the Dominion. Instead of fighting fleets directly, they targeted strategic locations. They disabled communication relays, cutting off Dominion commanders from central control. They intercepted supply ships, leaving Dominion outposts without resources. They provided weapons and tactical advice to resistance fighters on 7 different worlds. Each action was calculated to cause maximum disruption with minimum bloodshed. In the Defiance's tactical room, Walker and his officers studied a map showing their progress. The Dominion is struggling to respond, Cooper explained. They're used to crushing resistance with overwhelming force, but they can't bring that force to bear when they don't know where we'll strike next. Lisa Miller pointed to several systems. These outposts have been abandoned. The Dominion is pulling back, consolidating their forces. And look at this, Maria Thompson added excitedly. Resistance movements have taken control of these 4 planets completely. The Dominion didn't have enough ships to stop them. Robert Davis studied the data. Their supply chains are breaking down. Ships are running out of fuel and ammunition. Walker nodded. Athena, what's your analysis of Dominion capabilities now compared to when we arrived? The Dominion has lost effective control of 18% of their territory, HFY reported. Their combat effectiveness is reduced by 32% due to supply issues and coordination problems. Resistance activities have increased by 217%. So our strategy is working, Walker said. Yes, Captain, HFY continued. However, I must report that Emperor Malker has deployed his personal fleet. 50 of their most advanced ships are now actively hunting the Defiance. The room fell silent. 50 ships, Cooper whispered. Even with our advantages, those are bad odds. Walker didn't look worried. We've never relied on good odds, Lieutenant. We rely on being smarter. He turned to his officers. The Emperor is making a mistake. By committing his elite forces to hunt us, he's leaving other systems vulnerable. Maria's console beeped. Captain, we're receiving a transmission. It's being broadcast across all Dominion frequencies. On screen, Walker ordered. Emperor Malker's face appeared, his 4 eyes glowing with rage. Attention, human vessel, Malker said. I am Emperor Malker of the Stellar Dominion. Your interference in our territory ends now. The camera pulled back to show a beautiful blue planet. This is the world of Turalis. 10 million people live here. Unless you surrender your ship to me within 6 hours, I will destroy this entire planet. The choice is yours, Captain Walker. Your ship or 10 million lives. The transmission ended. He's bluffing, Cooper said, but his voice lacked conviction. No, Walker replied quietly. He's desperate, which makes him more dangerous. He stood up straight. Set course for Tyralis. Maximum speed. Sir, Lissa looked concerned. We can't surrender the Defiance to them. We won't, Walker assured her, but we're not letting him destroy that planet either. Captain, HFY interrupted. May I suggest a strategy? Go ahead. The Emperor's flagship carries a unique energy signature. If we can get close enough, I can calculate a series of micro-jumps that would allow us to appear inside their formation, directly behind the flagship, before their sensors could detect us. Walker's eyes lit up. How close would we need to get? Within 5,000 kilometers, HFY replied. It would be extremely dangerous. So is everything we've done since arriving here, Walker said with a grim smile. Plot the approach. We're going to pay the Emperor a personal visit. 4 hours later, the Defiance approached the Tyralis system. The Emperor's fleet surrounded the planet, weapons ready. We're picking up massive energy readings, Cooper reported. They're preparing to fire on the planet. Distance to target? Walker asked, his hands gripping his chair. 8,000 kilometers in closing, Cooper replied. Their sensors have detected us. Ships are moving to intercept. 7,000 kilometers. They're hailing us, Maria reported. Ignore it, Walker ordered. 6,000 kilometers. Enemy ships are locking weapons. 5,000 kilometers. HFY. Execute jump sequence now, Walker commanded. The Defiance vanished just as the Dominion ships fired. It reappeared seconds later directly behind the Emperor's flagship, so close they could see details on its hull. Fire, Walker ordered calmly. Precision beams struck the flagship's engines and weapons. Secondary targets disabled the ships closest to the flagship. Before the rest of the fleet could respond, Walker opened a channel directly to the Emperor's command center. Emperor Malkor, Walker said, his voice steady. Your empire is built on fear and oppression. It cannot stand against those who fight for freedom. On the flagship's bridge, Malkor stared in disbelief at the human captain on his screen, as his officers reported systems failing all around him. The game had changed forever. Emperor Malkor stood in his damaged flagship, staring at the tactical display. Half his elite fleet was disabled, drifting helplessly in space. The human ship had vanished again after its surprise attack. Emperor, his second-in-command, approached cautiously. We're receiving reports from across the Empire. Rebellions have broken out in 14 systems. 7 of our regional fleets have been disabled by local forces. Impossible, Malkor growled. How could slave worlds defeat our ships? They're using the same targeting data as the human vessel, the officer explained. They know exactly where to hit our ships to disable them without destroying them. And what? Malkor demanded. 3 fleet commanders have surrendered their ships to the rebels. They no longer believe we can win. Malkor's 4 eyes narrowed dangerously. Traitors. They will die for this. He turned to his weapons officer. Prepare the annihilator. If my empire falls, I will take half the galaxy with me. The officers exchanged worried glances. The annihilator was the Dominion's secret doomsday weapon, a device capable of causing stars to go supernova. It was hidden beneath the Imperial Palace on the Dominion capital world. Emperor, one brave officer spoke up. Using the annihilator would destroy our homeworld too. Better destruction than defeat, Malkor snarled. Set course for the capital. Maximum speed. On the Defiance, Walker and his crew monitored the rapidly changing situation. Captain, Maria reported excitedly, rebellion has spread to dozens of systems. The Dominion is losing control. And look at this, Cooper added. We're getting signals from Dominion military vessels. Some are surrendering to local forces. Others are asking to join the rebellion. Walker nodded, but his expression remained serious. What about the Emperor's flagship? It's heading toward the Dominion capital at high speed, Cooper replied. Robert Davis looked up from his console with alarm. Captain, we're picking up communications from the flagship. They mentioned something called the Annihilator. Athena, analyze all data on this Annihilator, Walker ordered. The AI worked for several seconds. Captain, cross-referencing communications and Dominion weapon databases we downloaded earlier, the Annihilator appears to be a stellar destabilization device. A star killer, Lisa whispered. Yes, Athena confirmed. Based on intercepted communications, Emperor Malker intends to activate it rather than accept defeat. Walker's face hardened. How many would die? If detonated at the Dominion capital, the resulting supernova would destroy approximately 12 inhabited worlds. Estimated casualties: 8 billion lives. The bridge fell silent. Set course for the Dominion capital, Walker ordered. Emergency jump protocols. Sir, Cooper said hesitantly, even if we get there first, what can one ship do against their entire home defense fleet? Walker turned to his tactical officer. We're not going alone, Lieutenant. He looked at Maria. Contact all rebel forces and allied Dominion ships. Tell them we need everyone who can get to the capital. We're ending this today. The Defiance arrived at the Dominion capital world first, thanks to its superior jump drive. The massive planet glowed blue and green below, surrounded by orbital defenses and hundreds of ships. Dominion forces are hailing us, Maria reported. On screen, Walker ordered. A Dominion admiral appeared. Human vessel, you have entered the most heavily defended system in the Empire. Surrender or be destroyed. Admiral, Walker replied calmly. Emperor Malker is planning to activate a doomsday weapon that will destroy this planet and many others. We're here to stop him. The Admiral looked shocked. That's impossible. The Annihilator is only a deterrent. He would never actually use it. He's lost control of half the Empire, Walker said. He's desperate. Check with your own intelligence officers if you don't believe me. While the Admiral hesitated, Cooper reported, Sir, Allied ships are arriving. 40, 50, over 100 vessels now in the system. Indeed, ships were appearing all around the Defiance, rebel vessels, and defected Dominion ships, all responding to Walker's call. The Admiral's eyes widened as he saw the fleet assembling. What do you want? Stand down your defenses, Walker said. Let us land at the Imperial Palace. We need to secure the Annihilator before the Emperor arrives. After a tense moment, the Admiral nodded. Very well, but I'm sending my forces with you. Walker smiled. I was hoping you would say that. The Emperor's flagship arrived 6 hours later to find the capital surrounded by a mixed fleet of rebel and loyal Dominion ships working together. Before Malker could even process this shocking sight, the Defiance appeared directly in front of his vessel. Emperor Malker, Walker's voice came through on all channels. Your empire has fallen. Half your fleet has joined us. The other half is disabled or contained. The Annihilator is now under our control. On his damaged bridge, Malker roared with rage. You lie. My empire cannot fall to one ship. Not one ship, Walker corrected. One idea. The idea that freedom is stronger than fear. Look around you, Emperor. Your own people have turned against you. Malker's officers looked at each other. Then one by one they stepped away from their stations. What are you doing? Malker demanded. I order you to fight. It's over, Emperor, his second-in-command said quietly. We will not die for your pride. 3 days later, Captain Walker stood in the Grand Hall of the Imperial Palace. Representatives from hundreds of worlds, former Dominion subjects and officials, gathered to sign a new treaty. The United Systems Alliance is born today, announced the chairperson, a former Dominion admiral who had joined the rebellion. All worlds will have equal representation. No more conquests. No more slaves. As the representatives cheered, Walker's communicator beeped. Captain, Maria's voice came through. We're receiving a transmission. From Earth. They found us. Walker smiled. After all they had been through, help was finally coming. But they no longer needed rescue. Now they needed diplomats. Later, alone on the Defiance's observation deck, Walker looked out at the stars. A single ship had arrived in unknown space by accident. A single ship had faced an entire empire. And through courage, strategy, and compassion, that single ship had changed the fate of billions. Captain. Athena's voice interrupted his thoughts. Earth vessels will arrive in 3 days. Thank you, Athena, Walker replied. Prepare a full report. They're not going to believe this. As the Defiance orbited peacefully above the former Dominion capital, lights from the celebrating cities below reflected off its hull. The ship that had made an empire submit or perish had chosen a third path, transformation. And the galaxy would never be the same again.